Good morning, students. Today we will solve numericals based on three laws of motion, that are first law of motion, second law of motion, third law of motion, along with that law of conservation of momentum of chapter 9, force and laws of motion. So for this, just take out your textbook and open page number 128 of main exercise. Now we are going to start with question number 5. I am going to read out this question. A truck starts from rest and rolls down a hill with a constant acceleration. It travels a distance of 400 meters in 20 seconds. Find its acceleration. Find the force acting on it if its mass is 7 tons. Now, it is said that in the question that truck starts from rest. So that truck starts from rest. So initially truck was at rest. So its initial velocity u is equal to 0 meter per second. Then it rolls down a hill with a constant acceleration. It travels a distance of 400 meter. So distance s is equal to 400 meter in 20 seconds. So time is 20 seconds. Now you have to find the acceleration produced in the truck, and then you have to find force acting on it. If its mass small m is given 7 tons, and we know that 1 ton is equal to 1000 kilogram. So 7 tons is equal to 7 into 1000 kilogram, that is 7000 kilogram. So what is given? Initial velocity of truck u 0 meter per second, because truck was at rest, so its initial velocity u is 0 meter per second. It covers a distance of 400 meter then, so distance is 400 meter. In time t is equal to 20 seconds. Mass is 7 tons, so we will convert it into kilogram, that is 7000 kilogram. You have to find acceleration as well as force acting on the truck. In chapter 8, we studied 3 equations of motion. First equation of motion, v is equal to u plus at. Second equation of motion, s is equal to ut plus half at square. Third equation of motion, 2as is equal to v square minus u square. Now, we have to apply one of these equations in order to find acceleration a. Can we apply first equation of motion? No. Why? Because we have u, we have t, but we don't have v. So without v we cannot find a by first equation of motion. Now can we apply second equation of motion? S is equal to ut plus half at square. For applying this equation of motion, we need s, u, t, s, u, t, all are given. So we can use second equation of motion in order to find a. So now by applying second equation of motion, that is s is equal to ut plus half at square, we can find a acceleration. S, what is s? 400 is equal to u 0 into t 20 plus half into a, we have to find t 20 square. 400 is equal to 0 into 20, 0 plus half into a into 20 square, 400. Now divide 400 by 2, we get 200. 400 is equal to 0 plus 1 into a into 200, 200a. 400 is equal to 0 plus 200a, 200a. Here 200 is getting multiplied by a. Now we we will transfer it from right side to left side, then it will divide 400. Now we have A is equal to 400 upon 200. Divide 400 by 200. You will get acceleration 2 meter per second square. So what is the acceleration produced in the truck? 2 meter per second square. So this is the acceleration. Now find out force. According to second law of motion, when we derive second law of motion mathematically, we get an equation for F, that is F is equal to ma. So apply this equation. F is equal to ma. We can find F, force. F we have to find is equal to m. M is 7,000 kilogram into A, 2 meter per second square. So F is equal to 7,000 into 2, 14,000 Newton. SI unit of force is Newton. So here we have got the value of force, that is 14,000 Newton acting on the truck. This is question number 5. Solution. Now we will move to question number 6. A stone of 1 kilogram is thrown with a velocity of 20 meter per second across the frozen surface of a lake and comes to rest after traveling a distance of 50 meter. What is the force of friction between the stone and the ice? So what is said in question number 6? There is a stone of mass 1 kilogram. So mass of stone, small m, is 1 kilogram. Now it is thrown with the initial velocity u, 20 meter per second, across the frozen surface of lake. So it's obvious that when this stone of mass 1 kilogram is thrown with the initial velocity of 20 meter per second across the frozen surface of lake, then after some time, after covering a distance, that distance is 50 meter, it comes to rest. Why? Because that frozen surface of lake, which is made up of ice, applies a frictional force on the stone, which reduces the motion of stone and ultimately makes the stone to come to rest. So finally that stone comes to rest, and it is also written in the question. So finally it comes to rest, so its final velocity is 0 meter per second. Now you have to find the force of friction between the stone and the ice. Means that frozen surface of lake, which is made up of ice, how much frictional force it applies on the stone so that stone comes to rest. So you have to find frictional force, a force. For finding force, we apply equation for force, that is F is equal to ma. For applying this equation for force F is equal to ma, we need m, that we have 1 kilogram. Then we need a, acceleration, which we don't have. So first of all we have to find a, acceleration. We will find acceleration by any of these equations. Which of these equations can we apply? First, v is given, u is given, a we have to find out, but t is not given. So we cannot apply first equation of motion. Second, definitely not, because here also t is required, which we don't have. Then third, yes, we will apply third equation of motion, because in this equation of motion we need s, v, u, which are given as v, u. So we are going to apply third equation of motion, 2as is equal to v square minus u square, for finding out a. 2 into a we have to find out s, that is 50 is equal to b, 0 square minus u 20 square. 2 into 8, 2a into 50, 100a is equal to 0 square 0 minus 20 square 400. 100a is equal to 0 minus 400 minus 400. 100 is getting multiplied by a. When we will transfer it from left to right side, it will divide minus 400. Now, minus 400 is divided by 100. Then we get acceleration minus 4 meter per second square. So here acceleration is in negative minus 4 meter per second square, which shows that this acceleration is produced in the direction opposite to the direction of the motion of the stone. Why? Because that frozen surface of lake, which is made up of ice, it exerts a frictional force on the stone. Frictional force is an opposing force which reduces the motion of the stone, which makes the stone to come at rest from motion. So obviously, if frictional force, which is an opposing force which is acting on the stone in opposite direction to the direction of the motion of the stone, which reduces its motion, which changes its state from rest to motion, so obviously it will produce a negative acceleration, a retardation, deceleration, which acts or which produces in the direction opposite to the direction of the motion of the stone. Now, we have to find force, frictional force. For that, we use equation F is equal to ma. F is equal to m, what is m here? 1 kilogram. A minus 4 meter per second square. So force is equal to 1 into minus 4 Newton. So you can see force means frictional force which is exerted by frozen surface of lake means ice on the stone is minus 4 Newton, means force is in negative. Obviously it will be in negative. Why? Because this is a frictional force, an opposing force which acts on the object in the direction opposite to the direction of the motion of the object. So it will come in minus or negative. Now we have question number 7. A 8,000 kilogram engine pulls a train of 5 wagons each of 2,000 kilogram along a horizontal track. If the engine exerts a force of 40,000 Newton and the track offers a friction force of 5,000 Newton, then calculate A, the net accelerating force, and B, the acceleration of the train. In question number 7, it is given that there is an engine and the mass of the engine is 8,000 kilogram. Now at the back of the engine there are 5 wagons each of 2,000 kilogram. So mass of one wagon is 2,000 kilogram, then mass of 5 wagons will be 5 into 2,000 kilogram, that is 10,000 kilogram. Now it is clearly understood that if mass of the engine is 8,000 kilogram and at the back of this engine there are 5 wagons who are having a mass of 10,000 kilogram, then total mass of the train, which is made up of this engine and 5 wagons, is 8,000 plus 10,000 kilogram, that is 18,000 kilogram. Because we all know that A train consists of an engine having a mass of 8,000 kilogram. At the back of it there are 5 wagons. Total mass of 5 wagons 10,000 kilogram. So what is the total mass of the train? Mass of the engine plus mass of 5 wagons means 8,000 plus 10,000, that is 18,000 kilogram. Now it is given that engine exerts force on the track. That engine exerts a force on the track. So the force exerted by engine on the track is 40,000 Newton. And that track offers a frictional force on the train is 5,000 Newton. And we know that frictional force always acts in the direction opposite to the direction of the motion of the object. So it is in minus or negative. So I am writing here minus for showing the oppositeness of this force. Now in A part you have to find net resultant force acting on the train which makes the train to accelerate. So we have to find net accelerating force on train. Net accelerating force on the train is equal to, see, there are two forces. One force is exerted by engine on the track, that is 40,000 Newton, and one force which is a frictional force exerted by track on the train. So there are two forces acting here. One is exerted by engine and one is exerted by track. So to find out the net or resultant force on the train which accelerates the train, we have to combine both these forces. So we have to do the combination of both these forces in order to find out the net or resultant accelerating force on the train. So when we take out their combination, we will write 40,000 Newton plus minus 5,000 Newton. So plus minus 5,000 Newton will be written as minus 5,000 Newton. So we will do the combination of both these forces. So what will we write? 40,000 plus then minus 5,000 Newton. And we all know that plus and minus become minus. So 40,000 Newton minus 5,000 Newton will be written. Then what will be the answer? 35,000 Newton. So what is the net or resultant force acting on the train? That is 35,000 Newton which accelerates the train, because engine of the train exerts a force of 40,000 Newton and that track offers a frictional force of 5,000 Newton. So there are two forces acting on the object. So to find out the net or resultant force acting on the object, we have to do the combination of both forces. So when we do the combination of both these forces means 40,000 Newton plus minus 5,000 Newton, then it will be solved as 40,000 Newton minus 5,000 Newton. Answer will be 35,000 Newton. So this is the net resultant force the train. Now we have to find B part, acceleration of the train. Now what will be the acceleration of the train? We all know that force is equal to mass into acceleration. Here what is the force acting on the train? That I have calculated already. The net accelerating force on the train means the net or resultant accelerating force on the train is 35,000 Newton. So the force which is acting on the train, which makes it to move or to accelerate, that is 35,000 Newton, is equal to, what is the mass of the train? Mass of the train is 18,000 kilogram into acceleration of the train, that we have to find out. Here 18,000 is getting multiplied by A. When we will transfer it from right side to left side, then it will divide 35,000. We will cut these triple zeros, then we have 35 upon 18. Now divide 35 by 18. We get acceleration is equal to 1.94 meter per second square. So what is the acceleration of the train? 1.94 meter per second square. Remember one thing, if you want to find the acceleration of the train, then you will apply equation F is equal to ma. Here you are finding acceleration of the train. So obviously you have to write the value of force. That force will be the force on the train. Means you have to write here the net, the resultant accelerating force on the train, that is 35,000 Newton, is equal to mass of the train, that is 18,000 kilogram, into acceleration of the train. Then you will be able to find the acceleration of the train. Now question number 8. An automobile vehicle has a mass of 1500 kilogram. What must be the force between the vehicle and the road if the vehicle is to be stopped with a negative acceleration of 1.7 meter per second square? Here what is given? An automobile vehicle has a mass of 1500 kilogram, means there is an automobile vehicle which has a mass of 1500 kilogram. Now it is moving on the road, so that road applies a frictional force on the vehicle which reduces the motion of the vehicle and makes it to come at rest. So finally it comes to stop, so its final velocity v is 0 meter per second, and a negative acceleration is produced, that is of minus 1.7 meter per second square. You have to find what is the frictional force exerted by road on the vehicle. We know that for finding out frictional force means force, we have to apply equation F is equal to ma. For this we need m, that we have, a, that we also have. So F is equal to m 1500 kilogram into a minus 1.7 meter per second square. Multiply 1500 into minus 1.7, we get minus 2550 Newton. So what is the frictional force? Minus 2550 Newton applied by road on the vehicle. So this frictional force is also in minus, negative. It's obvious that it will be in minus or negative because it is an opposing force which acts in the direction opposite to the direction of the motion of the vehicle. Now question number 11. Two objects each of mass 1.5 kilogram are moving in the same straight line but in opposite directions. The velocity of each object is 2.5 meter per second before the collision, during which they stick together. What will be the velocity of the combined object after collision? So what is given in the question? There are two objects. Let us consider these two objects as A and B. A is having a mass denoted with MA, that is 1.5 kilogram. B is having a mass denoted with MB, which is also 1.5 kilogram. Both are moving with same initial velocity UA and UB, which is 2.5 meter per second on a straight line, on a straight path, but in opposite direction. Means if A moves from left to right, then B moves from right to left. So what is given? There are two objects A and B having masses 1.5 kilogram each, moving with same initial velocities 2.5 meter per second on a same straight path but in opposite direction. So if we consider its initial velocity as plus, then it will be mentioned as minus. Means its initial velocity will be mentioned as minus. Why? To show the oppositeness of their direction of motion. Now, it's obvious that if they are facing each other, if they are moving in opposite direction, so at one point they will collide with each other. And as they collide with each other, it is given that they stick with each other and become a single combined object, which will move with same final velocity. So their final velocities VA and VB will be equal, and we will consider them equal to V, which we have to find out. Means when they collide with each other, they will stick with each other, become a single combined object, and will move with same final velocity VA and VB, which are equal to each other, and we consider them equal to V, which we have to find out. So we have to find out the final velocity of that single combined object. For this, we have to apply law of conservation of momentum equation, that is MAVA plus MBVB is equal to MAUA plus MBUB. Put the values of MAVA, MBVB, MAUA, MBUB. MA, it is 1.5 kilogram into VA, we have to find it, plus MB 1.5 kilogram, VB we have to find it, is equal to MA 1.5 kilogram into UA 2.5 plus MB 1.5 into UB minus 2.5. 1.5 into VA 1.5 VA plus 1.5 into VB 1.5 VB. 1 is equal to 1.5 into 2.5 3.75 plus 1.5 into minus 2.5 minus 3.75. 1.5 VA, we can write 1.5 in place of VA, we can write V plus 1.5 VB, we can write V. Why? Because V and VB are equal to each other. So, we have considered them as equal to V. So, in place of V and VB, we can write VV. So, now we have 1.5V plus 1.5V is equal to 3.75 minus 3.75 means 0. 1.5v plus 1.5v, it is 3.0v. We can write it 3v is equal to 0. 3 is getting multiplied by v. We will transfer it from left to right side. Then we have v is equal to 0 upon 3. So we divide 0 by 3. We get 0 meter per second. So what is the final velocity of that single combined object? 0 meter per second. Means when they collide with each other, they stick with each other, they become a single combined object and move with same final velocity, that is 0 meter per second, means they come to rest after collision. So this is all for today. In our next class we will solve few more numericals. Goodbye.